What's up, students? Mr. Nation, and to my players, welcome to the NayFul podcast. Episode number 39. We are coming at you live at the blog, Electronic Solutions. And if you want to use these facilities, you can send your email at admin@electronicsol.com. Episode number 39, I have the hottest rapper in Buffalo City. We have a top dog.
You're going to get me in trouble with that intro.
We have Sizzle. We have Sizzle RSA. Officially, Sizzle RSA. You can just Sizzle still.
It's Sizzle.
Oh, Sizzle.
Yeah, the RSA is because knowing that there's a lot of Sizzles out there.
Oh, sure.
About who's bigger than who.
Oh.
so for identification, man,
yeah,
just like
RSA, okay,
RSA,
sure.
yes, sir.
We have Sizzles. We have Usiana Mdipa.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we have Usiana Mdipa coming all the way from Vincent.
Nahon. Yeah. I like to. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, straight from the roots.
Yeah, I like the roots.
Okay.
Yeah, to stick.
Oh, not here, Upper
No.
Oh,
I would we could be anywhere. Beacon Bay, Camps Bay, and all that.
Oh, sure. We happy land by Nahon.
Matang.
Nikos?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Nahon Zoitun.
Oh.
Le ya kombun. Ngoba.
Hey, Tata.
Otherwise, grand bro.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I haven't been releasing anything. I haven't been doing anything in a while. And I haven't seen you in a minute. So first thing first, man, I'd like to congratulate you. You know, how you've took this platform. I remember when we started speaking about your podcast.
Yes.
The ideas, looking for a space in Vincent, ABCDE,
Yes.
And yeah, at that time, you were even thinking of using my studio. And I was like, my studio is small. For such, you know what I mean? For recordings and stuff like that, we could definitely do that, So all in all, that's what I'm saying, congratulations.
Okay.
That you stick it to the plan and you took it from that vision to where it's at right now.
Yeah.
You should really be proud of yourself, man.
Yeah,
that's quite something.
Man. Yeah, that will.
How you've been?
Yeah, it's been up and downs.
Yeah.
But I think everything that works, everything that happens in your life is working for you.
For sure.
So for all the good things and the bad things, they were all working for the greater good of.
For sure.
Yeah. So I've
Best
been
way
good.
to look at it.
Good. Yeah. I saw that we interview got Kevin Hart, not Jay-Z.
Okay.
That. This is profound because sometimes when you're going through the bad, you don't think it's working for you.
No,
sometimes the bad leads to the good, the greater good. When you look at if man can't take
No.
So
I mean, all of that has faith in the mix.
Yes.
So when you live off faith,
there's
gonna be a lot of episodes in your life where you're not gonna know what's gonna happen next. But at the end of the day, you know that you're gonna come out right. And I'm a perfect example of that. Just living off music for quite some time.
Yes.
Not knowing what's gonna happen next week. Not knowing when you're going to get your next gig, not knowing when you're going to get the next client, but throughout all these times, it's just been knowing that nzoba grand.
Yes.
And that has kept me floating the whole time, my head above water the whole time till this point. Amen. Nothing has been figured out.
Yeah.
I
remember the first time that we started working together was 2015.
It was a while back.
Close to 10 years now. Yeah, it was 2015 when we started working together.
And now that I'm thinking about it.
But we've met for 2014. Kumgani FM.
I remember. I think that's where we exchanged numbers.
Yes. And then we started talking, and then we started
it was they had rappers and don. It wasn't ciphers and whatnot, but it was hip hop related program.
No, Glenn as I say, we just plays. Show feds. I think Feds car, yes. I think I went to before going tomorrow, after tomorrow, I'm second program.
Sure.
So we met Payana, kicked it, and then we exchanged numbers, and then we worked together from that period until I think 2018, 2017. And then that's when I took my gloves off and said, this thing is not paying. I think the first question, the theme of Lando was, Bana, can you make a living off music?
For sure.
And I want to ask you that question. Before we get on, do you still think, Bana, you can live off music here?
Sure. So before I answer that question, I will start with the fact that I liked seeing one of the songs is Peanut Surface again that you did from that project.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I did see you reposting. So I was like, okay, cool. Because that was like quite a nice project that we worked on.
Yes.
But, when there's a lot that you're not sure of that's happening at the moment, you know, even the greatest work that you have, you won't be sure of it because of like the circumstances around you, of which like now that you have all this experience, you've met a lot of people, you've worked with a lot of people, there's certain things that when you listen to the project and then you'll be like, I think I was on the right track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, sonically, as a producer, I'm not where I was 10 years ago. As an artist, you're not where you were 10 years ago. But it's still like a good body of work that when you listen to, you'll be like, this is something that like I was like in my bag when I was putting it together.
In that time, when you put yourself back in that time, and then you listen to what has transpired throughout all these years, you realize, man, I know.
No, for sure, man. Yeah, so now going to your question, that can you live off it? Yes, you can.
Okay.
I had like my ups and downs with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists that I know that live off it.
Yes.
A major scale.
Okay.
So now I was living off it on a minor scale.
Sure.
That's my definition of it.
Okay.
It's like the downs were really down.
Yes, definitely.
But the ups were making up for everything.
Yes.
Yeah, so there was moments where I was like, hey man, like, maybe close to 2 months, nothing is happening in terms of like gigs or whatsoever.
Yes.
But fortunately for me, the reason why I can say yes is because I'm also a producer.
Oh.
So it's not only that like I get a little bit of change only when I'm performing.
Okay.
So I would have clients like you at the time.
Yes.
That would come and drop whatever bag for whatever work that you're coming for, So I can safely say that like from the production point of view, yes, most definitely. As an artist, it's very tricky.
Yeah.
Because to begin with, we don't have an industry in Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
Especially East London.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, there's no. When I like first came into the game, there was a lot going on with the movements, sessions and everything.
Yeah.
Even though they were not paying.
Yeah.
But there was a movement that I got a lot of gigs from being recognized from those sessions.
Yes.
The people that I've met in those sessions, I would easily have interviews in radio and all these kind of things from those sessions.
Yeah.
That's why now I feel for the ones that are like yet to come out.
Yeah.
Because like now, it's easier because of the internet, yes.
Yes,
but like organically, on the floor when you get to, because my numbers on social media are not as big as on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm more known on the ground than having big numbers on social media.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I've looked at it. And this is something that I would look at it from like, that's the groundwork that I've put in all those years.
Yes.
So there's no way that now I would be in a specific space and no one knows me.
Yeah.
And this is not to be cocky or anything like that.
No.
You know what I mean? But like a lot of people are aware of who Sizzle is.
Yes.
Now the crazier part is you could ask them one song, they probably wouldn't know, but they know me.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's how much I've pushed the brand. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And now how people take the brand will depend. Are they going for the image? Are they going for the music? Are they going for the visuals? That you don't have control over.
Yes.
Because even to date, like, there's a lot of reasons why people love Kendrick Lamar over Drake, love Drake over Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
There will be visuals, there will be beats, there will be lyricism. There's a lot. It's not just like, and that's it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of factors involved.
Yeah.
So I think where I was going with all of this is that, like, yes, it's possible to make a living out of it, but in Eastern Cape, it's tough to make a living off it.
Yes.
You know, and I say I'm a prime example of that. You know, I think for 7 years straight, I was just living off music, you know. But now with the economic Ramaphosa, you know, you know, you gotta be very smart, man. You gotta be very smart. Yeah. So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, you did. Leaning towards what I was also saying now, but
sure.
Back when so that's prime. Back when you were getting known, me and Tita on my back when
Perception
I was getting known, because you know, outside my circle.
Sure.
There were a lot of shows even on Thursdays. There were a lot of sessions, even Sundays, Thursdays and Sundays, Saturdays even. And in Escolo, of Mansekba, you go perform, go to school, and that was the thing back then. And we appreciated that more than the online interaction, where you go and meet with these guys, you perform your slot, you come back, you engage, and then next week, you know, it's the same thing. Next month,
also encourages you to record new music.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure.
You see yourself, okay, so maybe now let me try and make a song like this.
Sure.
So now that experience is gone today, because no one is doing their shows, number one.
Sure.
Number two, no one is performing on these shows that they have. You want, for example, because youngster
for sure.
But I didn't see an act to performer. So I would maybe it's that. I don't know.
It's a big factor, and I don't wanna like come off as salty.
Yes.
Because I've always avoided having a 2 cents on those matters.
Oh, okay.
Because of like the level of my artistry.
Okay, sure.
So I feel like whatever I say, certain people are looking at it from a point of like, you should know better.
Oh, okay.
You get what I mean? Because I'm not just an upcoming artist. You know what I mean?
No.
It's just a matter of like, maybe all the people that I know that are doing whatever they're doing, if I get to be a part of their establishments or their movements, automatically people will just like put me in that level.
Yes.
But on the ground level, they know that.
Yes.
It's just that like I don't get to be a part of everything that gets to be happening in town.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of politics and everything. You know what I mean? So that's why I always like reserve my comments on certain things. But this goes back to what I said, that we don't have an industry in Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
Because if we had an industry, there's no way that you'd have a hip hop, performing artist coming in town without a hip hop opening act.
Yeah.
How do you surround a hip hop act with line up as the headliner with like house DJs?
Yes. I'm a piano
There's
DJ.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
But you could just have one. And I always say this, it doesn't have to be Sizzle. It doesn't have to be, it can be anyone. You know what I mean? Because when I say these things, people will look at it like, oh, because you're no, I'm I want to earn everything, because everything that I've been a part of, I got it on merit. You know what I mean? It's never been a thing of favors, whatever. I had to work my way to get those things. So whenever I speak on such things like those, it's always based on, it doesn't have to be me.
Yeah.
It could be whoever who's deserving.
Yes.
Who's putting in the work in the city right now? Oh, Stira is putting in the work. Then put Stira on the lineup. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Yeah. But unfortunately, you get booked based on wazuban.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's just how the system is wired. You know what I mean? You get certain things, and I'll be honest with you, that goes a long way. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite or whatnot.
Yes.
Also, with this interview, I had to talk to you directly because I worked with you.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know how other people get to be on this platform.
Okay.
I'm making an example.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you know certain people that know certain people, the process could be easier.
Sure.
But when there's still a lot of 3-4 middlemen to go through, it could make the situation a bit tricky. So that's why I always say that I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, and being arty as hip hop acts. I don't like to be grouped in those. You know what I mean? But as we say that if we had an industry, these things would be easy. It would be automatic whenever there's such happening. No, we should have Ubani on this thing.
You see, I also wanted to have a segment where it's entertainment, local entertainment.
For sure.
I say, okay, so this week we're looking forward to ABC and D4.
That's dope.
But now you can't have that because there's people all in the music, I know the drop and the drop
Sure.
and the drop and there's no official platform for people to express. But okay, so the people that still love the hip hop must go
Sure.
directly here and then of months like but drop your albums but
Sure.
we don't know.
No one knows about
and we don't have an official platform. We all blacksmithed Bafika, and then I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of other sites, a lot of other figures, Abandu,
Sure.
who were responsible for, creating some platforms, but they all faded.
Sure.
So I don't know what happened, but I don't want us to dwell.
For sure. The politics.
Yeah, because now when we come to the music side
Sure.
of you, I don't know, was it an album, Brand New Old Me, or was it an EP?
Yeah, Brand New Old Me was an EP. I haven't released an album yet.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, all the work I have out is like EPs because the album carries so much weight.
Oh, yeah.
You have to chart, you have to touch the national market, you have to. That's just like my whole observation around it. So that's why you'd find that like EPs, mixtapes, singles, throwaways always does the trick as long as there's something happening and the traction. So yeah, Brand New Old Me was like my debut project, which is an EP.
Sure.
Having worked with a lot of people on that project, there's a lot of land, Yeah, that was like, it was exciting to make that project because I didn't have to overthink the process at the time. But now that I know so much,
yeah, sometimes,
like I can't just drop, even now they say it took me like a year plus to drop. Obviously I have a studio, I can record any day, anytime and release. But for me, it just got to a point where it's just like more than that, there's more to just like, I'm dropping, you know what I mean? It's more for me like, okay, what are we getting out of this release? What are the goals? Like, what can we achieve? Like there's so much involved now because when you've been doing this for quite some time, you get to a point of like, I can't do the same thing and expect different results.
Okay.
And if you don't fix that from the camp and expect that, let's say, Pumile automatically, it's not going to happen. But when the approach is different from the camp, then automatically everything changes, with the outcome. So now releasing music is not as exciting as it was then.
Yeah.
The exciting part now is that like the music sounds doper.
Yeah. But just too many politics.
Yeah, but like,
bridges to cross.
Yeah, there's so much, bro. There's so much
to get the desired outcome.
And I always say this, for me, it's very, very tricky because there's a lot that I do alone.
Yeah.
That like, when it comes to the release,
So,
as you are aware that I produce my music.
Yeah.
I write my music, and then now I'm at a point where I also like distribute my music. I handle the press, like everything, I do everything.
Oh.
So when I'm on a release, it's not like, oh, I got this dope song that's out. I send it to Sklira. Let's get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to overthink the whole process. Like I have to submit to radio.
Yeah.
I have to hustle gigs. I have to hustle interviews. I have to put this thing on Spotify. There's a lot. I do all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now as a team, we still have to, as I say, the visuals. We still have like the rollout. There's a lot involved. And none of that like gets to a point of like, it has to be like, oh, now, boom, with this one song, we hit the national market.
Sure.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like with the work that we do could land us there. But the most important thing, if we achieve making this project that we wanted and we achieve it, like the goal is like solid for us as the team. Now, how the people take it, it's not really up to us. So that's where it's currently at now with the music. Hence I'm saying like with the releases and whatnot, I don't just get to be like, oh, cool, we have a new song, let's put it out. I have to think through like everything that's gonna take place when the song is done. So yeah, man, that's where it's currently at right now.
Okay. What's the title of the song that's dropping today?
Muse. Yeah, that's the one that like it's very controversial. I don't know if you gave it a listen. But it's a song that when I listen to it over and over again, I keep getting like different, like, what you call, like there's like a lot of concepts You know, the more I listen to it, you know, and I'm sure that now that it's out and people are going to analyze it ngendlela yabo, then I'm going to get other, you know, opinions or oh, this is how I take it, this is what I think.
Okay.
Because now I already got like a question, you know, since it dropped.
Okay.
The first questions was like, did you write it for a specific person?
Yeah.
Or was it like, hey, you know, you see?
Yeah.
Because people are like now trying to be nosy and just trying to understand my business.
Because
keep in mind, first thing first, I'm not public about my business.
Okay.
So, you know, I think it's a way of like now people are finding a way of like, am I being vulnerable? You get what I mean? Okay. So like it's an access for them.
Okay.
Okay. Can we get certain information, you know, out of this song type thing?
Sure.
Hence I'm saying it's kind of like controversial in a way.
Okay.
Like it like that though.
Okay. So we have Muse Ngoku.
Yes, sir.
By Sizzle.
For sure.
It's a single leading up to something, or it's a single.
No, it's a single leading up to a project. I think I might finally jump into that like title that I'm running away from, which is the album.
Okay.
I was supposed to drop an EP.
Sure.
And then, you know, just listen to everything and then just like considering the fact that I haven't released in a while.
Yes.
So I just wanted to be like, you know what, let's take the work a little bit light going forward. You know, let me just drop a single. Let's just see how it performs. And then the direction, you know, because that's another market that I'm trying to tap into, like the females like market.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like they support, man.
Yes.
Yeah, they support, you know.
It's unconditional.
Yeah, they make it easy for you. They buy the merchandise.
Yeah.
They stream the music. They attend the shows, you know.
They do these challenges.
They do everything.
Push your thing.
Yes, for sure. So I kind of feel like, you know, not necessarily like 100% targeting, because also like, from a guy's perspective, you can also relate to the things that I'm saying.
Yeah. Yes.
But like, I think it's more if it's like on that like love angle.
Yeah.
And then the love angle doesn't have to be lovey-dovey.
Yeah, love is love.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yes. So I think that's just the angle, you know, that I'm trying to take with everything. Because I think the first mistake we make as artists when we get into music, we just write for the sake that the beat is dope.
Yeah.
And I just have these bars and then the song is out.
Yeah.
You don't get to determine like this is my target market.
Okay.
You know, this is the angle and whatnot. You discover these things like 15, 20, 50 songs in.
Yeah, I think so.
And you'd be like, what have I doing? What have I been doing all this time?
I think yabona la machita sekap o Bravo.
Sure.
O D on Dondon. They've raised the standard for us here. So they are not yet on that national level. Yeah,
sure.
But
there's a movement.
Yes.
Sure.
But they are like, if Unotwa, they just need 6 months to enter. Then because mostly it's because of their language.
Sure.
Uzaba say Eastern Cape, abese Kapa, abese Gauteng, because
sure.
Sure. So if unoye Durban ubuze ngomuntu othile bazomazi.
Sure.
But when they work with those Java, then they are penetrating that
for
market
sure.
and. So I think they've raised the standard for us.
I know for sure.
So now we no longer drop code data file host. We no longer drop on as always a corner. They've raised the standard. Well, okay, so this has to be on DSPs.
Sure.
There has to be an official release to this. And also numbers, hip hop numbers are between.
For sure.
So I've made this from this. I've got this on this. So now with understandably, Glenn it's just to add Ndobana. Now it's not very easy. The rapper in you, rapper in you will want to write.
Sure.
The manager, if you manage yourself as well, will have to consider a lot of things after the writing process is done. The publisher as well in you. If you do everything alone, there's a lot of views that are going to be in a meeting that might not be what the listeners want, but for you to benefit from that, there has to be a lot of considerations and.
There's a lot involved, bro. Fortunately, I work with a very small team.
Okay.
So the small team, like, you know, I bounce every idea to these guys, you know, Own Space. That's the team that I work with.
Oh, yeah, Brendan.
Yeah, that's the creative team that I work with.
Sure.
So, you know, even when I like make songs, you know, they will be in the studio sometimes, you know, just with the writing process sometimes where necessary, you know. I'm fortunate to have that team because it's a thing of like sometimes you might feel like you're slightly paranoid and all that with all these ideas and everything, or delusional and all that, until you bounce it off like a person or two. And then if it makes sense to them also, and then, okay, I think we're onto something, you know. And you can imagine the amount of times we listen to a song before we drop. You know, there's just a lot involved, you know. So as I say that, everything is very intentional right now, you know. It's one of those cases where it's like we wouldn't mind, like we did last year, going a year without releasing, because when we do, we want to do it right. You know, you don't want to be in a space where you do something and you feel like, and now this thing is out on all like DSPs, on YouTubes and all that. Then you can't take it back. I don't know if you remember like the year scandal where he dropped a track and then he said people should delete that one. He's gonna drop another version of that song. I just forgot the specific, but Kanye being Kanye, you know what I mean? It wasn't much of a big deal, but it's just one of those. It's very normal. You know that like when something is already out, and then you start to have some ideas, and then maybe you come across maybe at a gig that you're performing 5 months later, you come across a guitarist or a pianist that you know. Maybe you were performing and they happen to just like have some idea or two. Now you can't remix that for just like string or piano key, you know what I mean? But it's something that you're like, oh, flip, I wish the original version could have that. So that's why I'm saying like the creative process, man, is just like, yo, like to explain it, it's just like, you know, when you're J level. So we always try to simplify the ideas, you know, in a form that's why when I write, I don't write for artists. You know, I write for consumers because at the end of the day, I have to prove myself to the consumers that are going to consume. You know, not to the rappers that are going to be like, the beat, the bars, the melody. You know what I mean? Like, because all we do is like critique everything.
That's what I was going to say. But if you make music for guys, you are making music for the critiques. You're making music for someone's go tear up.
For sure. And fortunately, that's something I've never been a victim of from the jump, you know. I've never been a victim of, hey, you know, Zizotini bras, you know what I mean? Everything in the Nzileo was from a point of like, yo, when we perform this thing, it's going to be a jump. And when we perform it, it'll be a jump. So that's always been like the goal. And at this moment, as I say, there's no way that isn't that we didn't do then. We're going to do them now. You know, as I say, like now you know so much. So it's a thing of like, now that you know A, B, C, D, E, what you're going to do about it, you know. And that's the level and with the standard that you're trying to set, you know, a brand and whatnot. Hence, I always advise also, don't be a part of everything for the sake of being busy. Because the brand alignment, you know, could like a year or two later, it better because we move careless for the past 2-3 years. And then now that you're trying to position yourself in the right places, you know what I mean? There's some decisions as a battles and Zileo then that like, I don't want to associate myself with that. And you don't want to be that, you know, because at the end of the day, it depends on people that you're going to meet along the way. You know, and if you happen to like burn some bridges, suppose it was Benanga, you know, you're going to find yourself like 4 years later, like, okay, I'm stuck. You know, because like now you have no one to work with that could take you to the next level. And the next level will always emphasize this doesn't necessarily have to be national, you know. There's this thing with artists that like in order for you to feel like you're satisfied with the work that you have done and whatnot, it has to be approved from A, B, C, D, E. Man, like if this thing is done in the studio, the quality is proper, you have a group of people that like, not your friends, but a group of like followers, people that like just like it for what it is, that approve it. Whatever that comes out of it, man, it's just gonna be whatever. The achievement was you making that product, coming it out the way that you want it, and you take it out to the people, and there's people that appreciate it. I feel like that's just like artistry for me. We get to find ourselves in positions where depression is easy to hit us because we have this thing of like, it hasn't hit that, it hasn't. You don't have control over that.
Because you cannot. I think Smash, we see Chogum. I met him, I think, a couple of months back.
That's a solid dude.
McDonald's.
That's my mentor.
I know he's good.
Smash, I go way back with him, man. That's my mentor.
You know, the problem that you're going to run into if you want to create a space for artists is also stuck with views. You're going to say, it didn't hit these views. Kandi, the goal was not the views. The goal was to create this.
Masterpiece.
And sometimes creation, kubakho ezinye izinto that will not hit the same as the others.
For sure.
But ziyadingeka ezi so that ezi zihitayo based off the consistency of what
the
you
visibility,
started.
consistency.
Yes.
Sure.
So now I no longer care. I just push. Not that I care, it's just that I want to push so that, okay, so this has been happening.
For sure.
And it's not, we work, we know, but okay, so we push this, we work with this,
Sure.
and. So, yeah,
Same as with the album.
Yes.
You're going to have 10 songs, but you're going to select one single.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
You know, not everything is going to hit, but the consistency is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because the consistency is the one that's going to separate you from, okay, serious like
Sure.
and then Mafunda boy, this one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I kind of feel like the more you do something, you get better.
Yes.
And the quality of work, yes, okay, this guy spends a lot of time doing this thing.
Yeah.
And you can't cheat that.
Yes. Nobunga ithatha from ubani. You cannot do it as umdu that does it every day compared to umdu. You don't have the same drive.
No.
Even if you can get the idea, but you won't have the same enthusiasm behind it to push it.
Just like rather stick to your vision, bro.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do because you don't know what, like as you say with the drive.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what pushes me.
Yes.
I'm able to sleep at 2 a.m. You can't sleep at 2 a.m. I'm making an example.
Yes.
You know, like I could record a song until 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't, vice versa.
Yes.
So I don't know someone's like process. Okay. That's why like the comparison is never like my best thing. You know, because the moment you start to compare yourself with someone else, you know, automatically you're losing the plot because you don't know their advantages, their process, you know.
Yes.
All you come across is the finished product.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you find that like a lot of people like in the hip hop space, you know, I got ghostwriters.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it's a thing of like, no man, you're a rapper. We're supposed to. How are you gonna have someone writing about your pain? You know, like we still have those things, but we can see established artists. They eat off that.
Yeah.
They have a group of like people around them that write and all these things arrange, but because of like the standard that's been set, but as a rapper, you're supposed to know how to A, B, C, D, E. You know what I mean? That's pressure that you have to shift yourself from. But this in Abandu Bayo and this, but most importantly, just knowing when that this is my lane. You know, I'm doing things this way, and this is what works for me, and I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what's been working for me all these years. You know, I never, you know, feared or peer pressure, nothing, man. Like I never, you know, encountered that. You know, obviously I've came across a lot of challenges. You know, as I said, East London just not having an industry is a challenge on its own.
Yes.
And I feel like when you try to do something, instead of like having people backing you up, they see you as the opposite, you know, of like, okay, that's the up. We're not supposed to move with them. As opposed to like, you're not a challenge, bro. Like if you have a platform, like I made a simple example, you know, obviously I'm not going to name drop. Like if you have a gig as a hip hop DJ, you know, why can't you have like the hottest guy in the city right now, just throw one song, close set, you know, like you booked in a big gig, you know. So if you could just like perform one song with slow to some, and then you have your camera guy capturing that moment, putting it out, like you could have your own thing flowing with that. That means that like I'm pouring into everything you got going on, and it's not taking anything away from it, you see. But that's just the mentality that's lacking this side, you know. The moment I start to get a little bit of bazanyan, I already start to see you as competition. I don't feel like it's supposed to be like that, you know. I feel like we're supposed to stick together. It's like, okay, cool, this is the movement. This is why I feel like the house DJs, they have a solid movement because they support each other, you know. But with us as the hip hop guys, I feel like the moment you start to get some traction, okay, that's competition. Like I don't know that mentality where it's coming from. I guess it's just like built in with this hip hop ish. But it's kind of like if you look at the progress, like we can't even like speak on hip hop. You know, Islam and hip hop. We can't even, because there's no movement, there's no progress.
We don't have a top 5 even.
No, we don't.
We don't.
It's sad.
You can't have a freshers. We can be come on a double XL class of 20. We don't have any.
Nah, you can't. No, it's sad, bro. It's sad. And as I say that, like all of this is coming from, you know, we just don't want to own up to the fact that, and there's also this like whole, you know, lukewarm vibe going on with this fake unity and whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
Until you start to do something and then people start to support that, and then all of a sudden hey bro, like I just don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know. But all I know is that intervention no. somewhere, somehow, you know.
Because imagine this. Imagine a guy like me. I started off making music.
Sure.
I moved from that and met a lot of people through photography.
For sure.
So obviously in music, the people that know me, they know me.
Sure.
You know? And numbers, Chile, that were inclusive of people. People were supportive.
Sure.
Now I start from scratch with the photograph.
Something
build
new.
and build and build, and then this. Obviously, people know about this podcast,
sure,
but no one is going out and saying, "Bana, hey guys,
yeah,
we have this in the city. If we can all come together and to at least push this, then maybe this is a start.
Could benefit,
yeah. Everyone is just.
It's you just see it as competition, I guess, you know.
I don't understand.
But it's things that, like, as I say, man, like, you know, focusing on the negatives, you know, nothing good ever comes out of that.
Yes.
So I'm a very positive person. So in any case, you know, like, I just pride myself to just like, okay, cool, this is a situation.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the important part. Here's the positive part.
Yes.
Let's take that. Let's run with it. Okay. That's just like how I roll.
Sure.
Anything that I don't have control over, anything that just kind of like overpowers me or whatever the case might be, I don't want to be a part of that, because as I say that, like, if my energy is off, you know, and there's no connection, and I kind of feel like whatever we're doing is like one dimensional, I don't necessarily have to directly benefit. But if, like, when we look at this thing, it could benefit a lot of people, I don't have to be in the front line to benefit, you know. Yes. I'm cool with that. But like, the problem is that, like, we're in a space where everyone just want to be like the topic. Yeah, that's it. You know, and I mean, like, with that, you know, we can't go anywhere, because like everyone is fighting for the same position. And again, no one is gonna rise up. If there's a frog, the level between the elemental, sure. But if you take one frog with like a baguette, okay, it's gonna do everything in its power to climb out. Sure. Yeah, but if you take 10 frogs, fuck a packet in any one. Lays a mutsi by Tarazes. Right. We are right song. So another frog mentality, nobody don't know, but Ben Kennedy in the bend last week. And I thought, hey, I think that's what we have. Relatable. I think that's what we have. I think that's what we have. Relatable. Yeah. But you see, but we are on 37. I haven't asked anything about the other stuff except for the music, for which sure. This was a music for sure. Yes. This was like a press release. Are we expecting any interviews there? Yeah, no, for sure. I'll be doing like radio interviews. But as I say that, like, I wanted to start here. Okay, sure. You know, because I'm a man of my word. Yes, you know, because I spoke to you last year. I remember very well. Yeah, and I was like, look, I'm coming to your platform, but I need to have something to, so you know, I can't just come and just be there, you know. I need to have something that, like, okay, cool, here's what's happening. Yes. This is the way forward, you know. Okay. So obviously, you know, radio interviews, also try to get back to the Plugged In with Sizzle show. Oh, sure. You know, because I was doing that. COVID happened, you know, we still kept it moving, you know, a few Lendoga editions, and then, you know, ran a little bit out of steam. Yes. You know, not like musically, but just like a lot of like life things just wanted me to just like shift my focus and be like, okay, cool, you know what, I need to like grow like personally first, you know, this developer, and then, you know, the artistry and whatnot is gonna feed off that. Because that whole thing of like, you can't pour from an empty vessel. You feel it a lot when you're trying to push as an artist, but there's so much damage happening personal that it's like yagbamba for you to get to the next level. You know. So I'm not saying that I've accomplished everything that I wanted to achieve personally, but I feel like, you know, I'm in a better place, you know, personally. And then now I feel like the music is gonna just flow feeding off that. You know, and everything that I'm planning to do now, I won't, you know, be stuck between what I need to do personally and what to have to do as an artist. Sure. You know, so yeah, man, there's gonna be a lot happening.
Okay.
There's gonna be a lot happening.
So as a promoter today, obviously the way. But by the time you watch this, Muse, the audio version is out,
sure.
and the video also is out.
For sure.
For Okwangoku, go stream, go download,
Please.
go share.
Yes.
We need to work together, man, as
Please.
people. We need to push one another. The more we can eat, we can literally eat just by pushing one person, because e-wins is alarmed. They put eyes here. They put a lot of people from outside to see, oh, actually, there's something can come from this. And then a lot of people then could do the same thing and can also eat, because now a plate needs for everyone to come and eat. So
the plate has been big.
Yeah. It's just that
if we're being honest, because anyone can literally eat. Yeah. Photographers, DJs.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, just simplifying it without stretching that part.
Yeah.
If I'm doing an event, I'll make a simple example, because it's something that I also jumped into, over these past few years. I was booking artists and all this kind of stuff, got into the whole events organization stuff. So if I'm doing an event, I'm going to need the guy to design the poster. He's eating.
Yes.
I'm going to need the main, person that I'm booking, which is the
artist.
Yeah, the artist. Yes. That artist has a DJ yake, has a photographer yake, has whatever manager yake.
Yes.
They're eating. Yeah. Then there's gonna be locals, they're eating.
Yes.
There's gonna be influencers to push the thingy, whatever they request, they're eating.
Yeah.
And then the establishment itself, when we do the whole door takings, the night, how it went, and there's a lot that goes into it. But just one event, if you look at just the food chain,
a lot of people will eat.
A lot of people would eat. Now imagine when there's all of those happening and there's no gatekeeping, and everyone has access to eating.
Yeah,
we can literally eat. So it's just something that I would like us to open our eyes on as the Eastern Cape, movement when it comes to the entertainment space. Just look at everything from the point of whatever I'm doing to push the next person is not taking anything away from me.
Yes.
If we could just look at it from that point, I think that will be the winning formula. Because honestly, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You sharing my song, me sharing your video takes nothing away from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. The next thing from that, we could collab.
Yes.
The next thing from that, you're on my gig, I'm on your gig. Yeah. Next thing from that, we're touring together. You know what I mean? So it literally takes nothing away from you. That's why I don't have a problem with any guys in the city. If you're pushing something, I'm 100% behind you. I push everyone's stuff. If they don't push my stuff, it's still cool.
Yeah. I think when for 45, so we have 3 minutes.
No problem.
What's the takeaway from where you come from? How would you say was the childhood in Nahon?
Yo. Hey. Well, as you did say that the team is also from Nahon, so they know the challenges there.
Yeah.
Few of us get to make it to this point.
Yeah.
This
is celebs nazo.
Right.
Xa taxi internet abantwana bafuna autograph.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, no man, it's it's really tough. It's really tough. At the end of the day, I'm doing Indo. Yeah. If a vision yako is there, the universe is gonna provide the resources for you to get to the point that you want to be in life.
Sure.
I never looked at it from a point of, because I grew up in between places, and I say this in all interviews.
Yeah.
But I like to claim Nahon as soil. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I did a lot of things there.
Okay.
But I grew up in between places like Mtanzane, Dangeni, then Apebutale, Southern Node, Amalinda, and all this, you know what I mean? But it's a thing of I like to claim as a situation in Nahon as the soil, where it all started,
But it's to Osako. Oh, so
untlane.
Okay.
Because then female mom tlane.
Oh.
So would fall.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sure. So as I say, and then that's the hot months.
Yeah.
So it's it's like highly possible for anyone to just like get to be where they want to be, you know. And I don't want to come out here and sound like a motivational speaker.
Yeah, no.
You know, I can only speak on my experience, you know. But all I know is that like there's a lot of, you know, solid groundwork I had to do, you know, so I could be able to, and you know, a spot to sit like this and talk to you, you know, about that. Yeah, you know, yeah, I can't really talk that much on that, man. There's a lot, everyone on a journey, you know, it's just all about knowing what you want to do, you know, and like where you come from, honestly, has nothing to do with like where you could end up. You know, and it's all about just the vision, man. As I say, the universe would definitely like provide the resources. I'm a firm believer of that. You know, as I say, I'm a prime example of that. You know, there's a lot of interesting people that I've met. Till date, I still meet a lot of interesting people, and for some reason, some of them already know who I am. So, you know, so I take everything as a blessing, you know, every opportunity, you know, just try to expand, and that's just always been the goal, and I've always looked at everything from that point. Okay. So, yeah, man. Yes. Just know what you want in life, bro. Yeah.
I think to just close this off.
Sure.
So definitely we go for the 5.
Sure.
What is the takeaway from this is go stream the song.
Sure.
Go stream the visuals. There's music. Letter to Pops is on the channel most.
Yeah, Letter to Pops been, because it was on the previous project, Vibes and Feels EP.
Oh, yes.
Or the process. Well. Yeah, okay. So that was the project that I dropped 2022. 2022. 2021. No, there was like, prime COVID at the time. Oh, sure. Yeah, it was a while back.
All right, that's
different. That was a while back. I think it was like 2020. We could like round it off to 2021.
Okay.
So that was the EP that I dropped then.
Yes.
As I'm dropping again now.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
So right now, as we are speaking,
sure,
there's music already out
for sure.
From you. From someone who doesn't know you, must go and check out that music.
Yeah, Sizzle, Muse, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes.
Yes.
Pretty much. And also the merchandise is available. We are approaching the winter season. So I got some nice sweaters, hoodies, sweatpants. I want to get into beanies also. You know, so all those details are on my like Lenduka pages.
We have usually play some games on TikTok here.
Yeah.
Videos is lala koma 200k, 800k, all ohlobo lakhona. And I thought to myself, you know what? Because abantu could comment, but you as a skipper skabani isifumane kabi.
For sure.
Khona usihle maze usihle nakho.
Sure, the photographer, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I was wearing Upanda Mzansi and people were making inquiries about how to get Upanda Mzansi.
Nice.
So now that we're taking a match, it's like
the Sizzle,
yes, I think
that's the one.
I should get one. I'm gonna buy one, and then I'm gonna just to push so that, and then we can drop it. So
I appreciate that, man. Yes, that will go a long way.
Because I think if we can work together, we can achieve more as people.
Now, for sure, bro. That's what I'm advocating for.
Yeah,
just like unity.
In closing,
in closing, bro, I would just like to say that, like, let's just try to push, you know, whatever that you're good at, whatever that you feel like, you know, this is like what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Just go an extra mile, you know, and let's be kind towards each other, you know.
Yes.
Let's just like try to put the I know too much. I always have an opinion. Yeah. I always have something to say.
Yeah.
Just appreciate something for whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like this whole thing of like, when you're not involved in that project, automatically there's something wrong. That's one of the biggest things that I kind of feel like is like a big problem in the city. Is like, if we're not a part of it, we don't support it. You don't have to be a part of it, bro.
Yeah.
Just look at the final product. If it makes sense, support it. You know, and as I say, supporting it doesn't have to be monetary. It could be any form of support, sharing, social media. Because the moment I start to share your things, you share my things. Like, you know, the masses see that, they work together. You know, the unity that we're forming. We don't only talk about it, but now we actually live it. And that's what we need in order for us to take like this movement to the next level, because at the moment there's no hope for entertainment in Eastern Cape. You know, there's a lot of movements that I'm seeing, but they're only house orientated. I'm not seeing like hip hop, you know, movements at the moment. So I feel like if we could work together, you know, it could just shed some light, man. Like because there's still a lot of upcoming artists.
Yeah,
you know.
As is one about.
No, for sure.
It's just that
For sure.
Then their dreams are
like I record a lot of artists, and sometimes they will just like not know what to do when they're done with the song.
Yeah,
and it's like sad to watch.
Yes.
You know, and like I don't want to play a manager role into other people's lives and whatnot. Nothing does it too much. You know, I think me just guiding you through your song while we're recording it is enough. You know, and then maybe share some idea. Oh, you want to do this, Tata Noban, and you know what I mean. But I feel like just that guidance, you know. But the guidance also will go a long way if we already have a structure.
Yeah.
Because whatever I guide you through is gonna benefit from the structure, and we're winning as a unity, as opposed to it's just one person and we're hating on this one and we kind of like gang. It's a lot, man. As I said, I don't like to stick to the negatives.
Sure.
So yeah, man. And also, you know, just you guys keep pushing. You got a great platform here. You know, I wish you more success. I know there's a lot to come. You know, I know you have like a lot to do in terms of. I started this from this. Now I'm here. It's never ending.
Yeah, it's never gonna end.
You know, like someone else might look from a distance, like I'm looking at everything like, okay, this is solid. It's done. But when others like, when you go to bed, you're like, shit, I need to this and this and that. So I would just like to wish you, man, like young impumelelo that keep this podcast, you know, would carry, and you know everyone that's involved benefit from it, you know. So yeah, man. I think that was my closing.
Okay, sure. Yeah, this has been the NayFul podcast, episode number 39. I think 39. Yeah, episode number 39.
If I'm wrong, he's wrong. It's not my fault.
We are out.
Easy, bro.
This podcast has been proudly brought to you by Electronic Solutions, recorded at the Block Studios. And if you want to use our facilities, get in touch with us on all our social media platforms, Electronic Solutions. Email us admin@leptronicsol.com.